welcome back to another. What's up, y'all? Welcome to my KCON video. My voice usually it'd be higher like this, like it'd be my voice, but I lost my voice over the weekend because I was screaming to Twice in Momoland. You know, if you're at a concert, you feel like you're disrespecting the artist if you're just not screaming your head off the whole time. So for the whole video, I'm just going to use this deep voice like I finally hit puberty at 25. So I know the title of this video says I was a flower boy at KCON, and before I get into that, this video is basically about all of KCON and my experience. This is actually my first KCON. I regret not going the other years. Like, I didn't even know that a convention could be that amazing. That was probably the best weekend all year, and I'm shooting this today like 2 days after KCON, and honestly I'm feeling like a lot of withdrawals, you know? When you're that happy for just 3 days straight and then you go back to your regular life and just start working, you're like, man, I wish I was back at KCON, or I wish I could just like rewind back to Friday and do it like all over again. This year was particularly different because I worked the Flower Boy Cafe. But before I get into that, I just want to talk about some of the things that happened on the Wednesday and Thursday before I went to KCON. Wednesday was when I met Dre and Kenny for the first time. I think one of the highlights about hanging out with them that day was so I brought my portable karaoke mic. This is like Bluetooth, not sponsored by the way. My friend got this for me for my birthday. Like it has an echo, so it actually replicates like singing at a karaoke spot, and it accidentally went off in my bag, and Dre was like, yo, that has to be a gag, man, like you set that up or something. And I was like, no, I just kept it in my bag like just in case. What happened was that I started putting songs on it, and I remember Kenny like singing to In or Out by Sundara Park. And after we put like Bumbaya on, and I didn't know the lyrics that well, we just pulled up like a YouTube video. I started like singing and dancing to it. I can't believe like that was like the first time I met those guys, and just right away I was just acting like a fool. It was so funny, but I felt super comfortable doing it. And then the second day we hung out, we were in line to, I guess, get our passes for KCON, and I remember Dre getting stopped by like a fan, right? And then as we were walking away, I think the fan asked, she's like, yo, are you Kenny? And then Dre was like, yeah. I'm like, no. I started walking away, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that happened. That's so funny. The morning of, I thought of this collaboration idea that I could do with Dre, like really quick, like even if it was just for like 5 minutes. And then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get in my Koreabu getup, right? I'm gonna dress up like Sarah, my bad. Sarang. I can't even do the voice anymore. Like, this is the second day I met him, and already I was already dressing myself up into like booty shorts, and also the over-the-shoulder pink top, and I was putting like eyeliner on. I had like my blonde wig, and Dre was just vlogging me. He's like, yeah, what video is this again? what is this for again? Even Toby would like message me. He's like, dude, don't do that. Like, that's the second day you met him. I was just like, yo, we're creators. We gotta do what we gotta do, you know? Honestly, just to be able to collaborate with one of the YouTubers that, you know, you look up to is just a very, very humbling experience. So Friday is when KCON began, right? I didn't get to experience much of the convention since I was working this thing called the Flower Boy Cafe. So for those of you who aren't familiar with KCON, it's pretty much like a K-pop convention about like Korean culture, Korean beauty, K-dramas, all encompassed into like one convention, right? And then they offer this service called the Flower Boy Cafe. Pretty much it's this experience where there's a flower boy designated to your table, they serve you drinks, they have conversations with you, and sometimes they have like a Q&A, like you can ask like, oh, are the flower boys like good dancers, like can you sing? Let me tell you the story about how I became a flower boy, okay? So on Twitter, I think it was like a month ago, like a month before KCON, they went like, oh, we're still looking for flower boys for the Flower Boy Cafe. And I retweeted it to my followers and I said something along the lines of, you know guys, if I worked this, I would go like, oh, I know sarang you so much, Yiggy, like, you're so yippo, I just want to sarang you 5 ever, or something like that, you know what I mean? I hella trolled, and a lot of my followers are like, do it, just do it. And I was like, okay, sure, I'm gonna just do it then, right? And then they had an application process, like it was a Google Doc, and then one of the questions was like, what is your special talent? And I think I remember putting like verbatim, like, I hit that twice, what is love cover swag, or something like that. I just didn't really care, you know? Surprisingly, 3 days later, I get an email back saying that they wanted to interview me in downtown LA, and I got it back, and I'm just like, are you serious? Since they invited me in for an interview, like, okay, like, hell yeah, like, okay, I'm gonna go and have a good interview. Let's try to see how it works out. They told me during the interview that I would be missing most of the convention because I was going to be working the cafe. And then I asked, I was like, wait, but I'm not missing the concert, right? And they're like, oh, no, you're not gonna be missing the concert. I'm like, okay, thank God, because, you know, if I did, I started getting up from my seat. I'm like, thanks for the opportunity, but, you know, I gotta see my favorites. I gotta see Twice, gotta see Momoland, so thank you so much. Despite me trolling and all of that, I thought that I would be a pretty good fit because I'm a very, very extroverted person and also kind of introverted. I do get a lot of energy from talking to people, but I also like being in my little editing troll cave at home, like, you know, spitting memes on Twitter, like on Instagram. So surprisingly, a week later, they contact me back and they say, congratulations, we're delighted to tell you that you've been chosen to be a flower boy for the cafe. Oh no, the joke went too far. I'm really in this now. So I was at the photo shoot. All the flower boys were very, very nice. The most memorable part was filling out the little bios about ourselves. And, you know, I was already trolling like hell, so I'm like, why stop now? And they were like, what's the movie that represents your life? And I'm like, obviously, Chicken Little, okay? So I put that down. I put down for like my hobbies, like belting out Anpanman in my car, which is true. I said listening to Jungkook's like Aegyo intro. And then I put loving my Opar J Park from Day 6. And they took out the R. I was like, no, it's Opar. Like, it's not Oppa. Like, no, it's supposed to be Opar. Like, hello. And they're like, well, who's your K-pop bias? And I'm like, Park Jae-hyung, of course, you know? Like, and so all of like my fans knew exactly what I was doing. And people were like looking at my bio. Like, even my friends started texting me. They're like, Chicken Little is not your movie that represents your life, dude. I really can't believe that they approved. So here's what happened at KCON. So I didn't know what to expect. Usually when I go out in public, maybe I get recognized like, I don't know, like once a week. And it's usually for like JK stuff. And I don't think that I've been getting recognized a lot for my content, but I'm just like, KCON should be a place where like it could get recognized. Maybe it'll happen like a little bit more than what I get from like JK fans, like in general, right? And so I walk in and then I see like big lines lined up to get into KCON, and I already see like heads turning and like looking at me, and like some people were like screaming at me. They're like, buy it! Oh my god, buy it! I was like, oh, wait, I was like, wait, what? And I kept on getting stopped because people wanted to take pictures, and it was all like very, very flattering, but I had to get inside of the convention because, you know, it was almost time for me to work. We had to get briefed before the whole event happened, and people were like stopping me to like take pictures. They were just going like, oh my god, I love your stuff, like keep doing what you do. And it was honestly very, very humbling. And I remember 2 girls coming up to me and they gave me a Polaroid. They gave it to me like this. I was already thankful enough. I'm like, oh my god, thank you so much. They're like, turn it around. And I turned it around and it's Joey. And I was like, oh my god, thank you so much. I was like freaking out, and then I give them like hugs. I'm like, that's so sweet of you. Oh my god, I can't believe they gave me Joey. That's so nice. Look at her, she's so sweet. So we got into like the cafe. Like, I just felt like, you know, the other flower boys were just being my bodyguards. So I think in that moment I was just kind of worried. I was like, I hope that everybody who shows up to the cafe is just not there for just me, you know? Like, I hope everybody gets like the same amount of like, equal love, you know. I don't want it to just be like a byronvids like meet and greet. You know, they also worked very hard too. But surprisingly, over the span of 3 days, everybody had like their fans, you know. Like each flower boy like had people who came just to see that particular flower boy. At most, I would probably have like 1 to like 5 fans that came inside of the cafe to come see me, and then everybody else had like their own set of fans. Honestly, me doing the Flower Boy Cafe, it was a nice way for me to just interact with fans. Taking pictures with fans is really nice, but I think I really like it when you get to talk one-on-one with somebody. You get to talk about like life, or you get to talk about like K-pop, anything at all. So I guess before I get into everything, let me tell you about what happens at the cafe. So the first 5 minutes is when people just come trickle in, they pick a table. Each flower boy is designated like 1 to 2 tables, right? And so I had 2 tables to myself, and then my job was to just like keep that table company. So the first like 10 minutes or so, we take their drink orders, serve them drinks, and then we converse with them. I would always go like, oh, what are your favorite groups? Or, you know, who are you most excited to see this weekend? Like, who's your bias? I would try to like make everyone like involved as much as possible. Every single time, like, we would introduce ourselves to, I guess, the audience. People would go like, oh, what's up? Like, my name's Aiden, or like, my name is David, and stuff like that. These were like the names of the other flower boys. And then I think the majority of the time when I would introduce myself, I would just go like, 안녕하세요, 저는 반갑습니다. and surprisingly, people got it. Like, there were some people who were laughing, and some people were like, oh wait, what's that from? But the majority of the time, I got a bunch of laughs from introducing myself like that. Hey, what's up guys, my name is Byron, you know, Stan Momoland, you know, Stan twice. Hey, that's me, I'm a K-pop fanatic. During the whole time, we would play K-pop in the cafe, so if there was like a dance that I knew, like if they were playing like Boom Boom, they're playing Bam, or like they're playing Do 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 Do, like I would just like straight up like dance. It was just like a perfect place for just me to just be me, talk to people about K-pop, and just an amazing place where everybody could just be themselves. At the same time, as fun as that is, when you have to do it for like 6 to 7 hours, it does get a little bit tiring, but it was a lot of fun to do. One of my favorite interactions from, I guess, that day was I had a table where it was one of my fans. They were like these 2 people that, you know, never heard of me, but they also like K-pop. And I was like, oh, what are your favorite groups? The non-fan was like, oh, I really like Day 6. And then I looked at her, I'm like, oh, you like Day 6? And then I looked at the fan like this, I'm like, me too. And I remember even after the convention, that particular fan like made this really cool Stray Kids jacket, like handmade it, and she let me wear it, and then we took pictures like after the convention was over. It was really cool. Nice to meet you, by the way, if you're watching. And that first day, like, I was kind of scared to take a break, because if there were people who came specifically to come see me at the cafe, I would feel really bad like if they didn't get like the full time. So I decided to just keep going and only taking the 15-minute breaks like in between each session. And honestly, that stressed me out like a lot. Like I was like, okay, like that was cool, but I really think that I need that 45 minutes to just, you know, recuperate. Because even when I took a break, like if I didn't stay backstage and I went outside into the convention, then I would run into fans. Like I think I ran into fans like probably every minute or something like that. And then if I ran into a fan, then it would start a chain of reactions like, oh, like I recognize that guy, or, you know, oh, let's take a picture together and stuff like that, which is super flattering. Like I really loved like meeting every single one of you. But, you know, I also needed to work, so I was like tweeting, I'm like, hey guys, like I know that it's great to like meet you all, but I'm working, so if you can just take like a running selfie with me, like that would be great, you know, like I'd love to give you a hug like really fast, but, you know, I'm also working, so just please be mindful of that. I knew that I was just going to be tired like the whole weekend, because in addition to working the Flower Boy Cafe, I also wanted to go to every single concert, like including Club KCON, because I knew Momoland was gonna be there on Friday. I went to Club KCON. I was talking to somebody who I met at the cafe, and we were just talking, just getting to know each other a little better. And I was telling her like, oh yeah, I really like Momoland, I'm really like big like once and stuff like that. In the middle of our conversation, I hear Bam go off in the background, and I look towards the stage, and Momoland was coming up, and then I had to ditch that guy. I'm like, hey, it's really nice to meet you and stuff like that, but you know, I gotta go. And then she's like, yeah, peace out. And I booked it towards the stage. I started running. I was just like, oh shit, oh my god, it's Momoland. Okay, look at that. No, sorry. I don't know anymore. Oh my God! Oh! Always on your side! Oh, they're gonna do it! No! No, it's in my pocket! Just shoot it! Like, even though that they just did Wonderful Love, like I was going pretty crazy. Like, oh my God, like they're so great. Great. I went home super sleepy. I probably got like 4 hours of sleep. Like I was surviving on like 3 Red Bulls that day. Really unhealthy, really stressful. So Saturday, it was the longest Flower Boy Cafe day. So we were working from like 9 to 6. I remember one of the fans asking me to do a Shoot Me cover with a kazoo. That was so cool. The host let me introduce my channel a lot. So at the cafe, there were some fans who already knew who I was, but like I was given the opportunity to, I guess, introduce like what I was about. And every time I was just like, hey guys, you know, I have a YouTube channel. It's really embarrassing. If you guys like cringe content, you guys know what a Koreaboo is. You know, I mean, hello, you know, like that girl, I'd be making fun of her. So, you know, like the Day 6 song, You Are Beautiful, goes like, yeah, bossa, goes like, yeah, bossa. And like at that moment, like I saw people like cover their ears, like, no. I'm just like, yeah, if you don't like that content, then don't subscribe. But if you're down, you know, calling people opar and stuff like that, then you should subscribe. Funny story about that, actually. I remember meeting 3 people at my table, and they're like, oh, we totally relate. Like, we make fun of it all the time. Like, we say, 안녕하세요, and, you know, opar, like, I really sarang you so much. And I'm like, yeah, that's my thing. Like, I love doing that. And, you know, we were just vibing really well, just talking about K-pop in general. And by the end, all 3 of them, like, said bye. They were like, bye, opar. And I was like, dying so hard. That was so funny. And I was super happy that a lot of people came to see me, and you know, I gave them like all hugs. I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much for watching. It means so much to me. You know, even during my break, like I just felt like it wasn't really a break. It was just me like meeting more fans, and a lot of people like came up to me like, I really like your content. I think I remember like someone cried like meeting me, and I was like wiping her tears. I was like, no, don't cry. Like it's gonna be okay. Like I gave her a hug and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just super humbling to know that there's a lot of you out there that really like the stuff that I put out. So thank you so much. It was really great to meet you at KCON. So one of the things that happened during one of the sessions at the Flower Boy Cafe, I really like Momoland. I really like Twice, and I got to see Momoland like during like my break, because like, you know, they went on like the center stage and they were just like talking in general. I'm like, oh my God, like it's Joey. Like I was just like recording that. I was like, oh my God, I was freaking out. I think someone has footage of me just like sitting there like with like my hand over my mouth, and I'm just like, oh my God, is there? Like I tried like not to scream because like, you know, I just wanted to like, I was trying to keep the fanboy in. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe like we're breathing the same air. It's so crazy. I sound like a smoker. And then when I had to work again, I think it was like 15 minutes into our current session, and then I hear this sound that it was like dun, 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 and it was like, oh my God, I started like hyperventilating. Like I wasn't even trying to be like low-key about it at all. I was just like, oh my God, they're right there. And then you know, like our Flower Boy Cafe, like it's like, you know, closed off. It's like curtains. Like you can't really see what's going on inside, nor can you see like what's going on outside. So I hear in the background on the loudspeaker, it's like, Twice in me down. I was like, I was like patting myself, and my tables were like, oh, like it's gonna be okay. But I'm like, twice. Like, yeah, I'm like, oh my God. This is so crazy. So I was even like taking orders. I was like, can I take your order? I was just like, I can't believe Twice is there. Oh my gosh. And even after like the session, like I wasn't able to catch them, but I remember one of the fans like going out to take at least like one picture, and then I was just living vicariously. I'm like, okay, they're there, that's so cool. I was like zooming into Sana's face. I was like, So the night of Saturday was a concert. Oh man, that concert, me and my friends, like we were so ready. Like we were out like on the balcony ready to dance because like we knew that nobody like was sitting like behind us because like we were by like a wall. Momoland opened. Momoland opened. Like I couldn't even hear like the beginning of the song because everybody was screaming. I was screaming my like head off, you know? Oh! Momoland! Momoland! Oh my god! Like I was screaming my head off. They opened up with like Bam, you know? I was like Bam! Bam! I was screaming so loud. My friend was helping us like record like us do like the dance, and it was just like just being able to do the dance with them was so like amazing, you know? Like oh my gosh. Like so then after Bam they did boom. I was like Bam! Oh shit! Oh my god! They're gonna do boom boom! They're gonna do boom boom! The song started like I was like great! Great! I think they had like a little video that like no excessive cheering, and I'm like, man, let's get it, let's get it. Like I'm gonna scream my head off. Like you're at a K-pop concert, what the hell? No excessive cheering. Like screw that, man. I'm screaming, great! Me and my friends, we were like doing the dance, and it was just so like everything came full circle when like I screamed great with, you know, Momoland. Like I remember one of the first videos that I made this year was reacting to Boom Boom, and I was like, what's Momoland? And then just to be in that moment and knowing the dance and screaming great with Joey sorry, with Chewy, that was just probably the best thing that's like ever happened like this year. Like for me to like finally like see them like in person perform, like oh my god, I'm just like reliving, like oh my god, like okay, just gotta calm down, shoot me. I already kind of lost my voice from screaming great and, you know, doing like boom boom, doing Bam and stuff like that. Like I was already dying, but you know, when Twice came on, I was really calm, you know, like I was like vibing through like Crush, I was like vibing through like Dynamic 2, I was like, hey, yeah, that was good. And then it all got quiet, and I was like charging my phone outside, and then I heard, I was like, oh shit. I started booking it back to like the concert. I was like, oh, get out of my way, get out of my way. And I like started like running up the stairs, I'm like, Twice. And then like it showed all of them, and I was like, they did like all of their songs, like they did Dance the Night Away. They did What Is Love. They did Likey. Baby, let's take a mama. Bring it. I started screaming. I was like, like it. And then of course like they did Cheer Up. Like, oh man. I was like, Twice! Halfway through Twice's set, I started getting this really bad headache. It was a really big pulsating headache, but I didn't care. I was like, no, I gotta cheer for my favorites! Yeah! Cheer up, baby! Cheer up, baby! Or like, me like it! What is love? Like it was, oh my god, it was probably really bad. Like I was already stressed out from all of like the tiredness of the Flower Boy Cafe, and for me to just scream like that and have that much energy at the concert, oh man, I had to bring ibuprofen. I knew that was going to happen. Like after the set was over, like I almost like passed out. I could never understand that from the perspective of like a fan until I saw it twice in person. I was like, oh, shoot, I'm really about to pass out right now. Eiley came on stage and I was just like, oh god, like I have to just like sit down and like, you know, put my head down for a bit, rehydrate, try to regain like my sanity back. Oh man, the concert was so amazing. I can't believe that I was finally able to see them in person. Like, that was so beautiful. So Sunday was a super fun day. It was one session shorter than Saturday. One of the most memorable moments of that day was when I remember it was like these 4 girls, they brought posters of, you know, like Byron Opar, I Sarang. You know, that was so cute. Like they were in front of the line and they were holding up the posters. That was so cute. Like, and she's like, oh wait, there's more. And then I remember going to the bathroom, I remember coming back and they had pictures of like Sarah of like, you know, like the heart memes and stuff like that. And as soon as I saw that, like they put it up, I like fainted. I was just like, that's so funny. I was like on the ground. I was like, that's so cool. Like I gave them like all hugs. I'm like, you guys are so awesome. You guys are so amazing. I remember them telling me, and she's like, oh, her actual name is Sarah, and she says Byron is her Korean boob side. That's great. Oh my god, that was so cool to see. I had them like pick me up like for like a picture, even though they're like struggling. I was like, yeah, pick me up, like it'll be fun. I will never ever forget that. Honestly, that gave me so much life. Like that made me really, really happy. I remember, I think I told Amber that I was a flower boy at the cafe, and then I think my friends from Marshall Club like reminded her that I was, and so I wasn't really expecting her to like come, you know what I mean? I think it was during a session, like we were busy introducing and talking about like the flower boys in general, and I was chilling, right? And I see one of my friends walk in. I was like, oh yeah, hey, what's up? And then I see this person walk in, like had like a hat on, and I was like, oh, who's that? And they're like waving at me, and I was like, huh? And then I see blue hair, and then I was like, hat, blue hair, and then I look at the face and I was like, oh. And she's like, hi. And I was like, oh my god. And then my table like saw her, and they saw me, and I was like, oh my god.
Saw Amber.
Tattoo yourself. I don't have a tattoo. I don't have. Why? You never got around to it. What should he get? What kind of?
I noticed like one of the Korean interns from like Korea in front, like she just like went on the floor. She like fainted. She was just on the floor and she was like fanning herself. She's like, oh my god. I was like, guys, like look. You saw the car video. Like I couldn't keep my cool, dude. Like this Amber, bro. Like I can hardly chill, man. Like oh my god. Like then I went back to like the table. I'm like, did you guys see Amber? And they're like, yeah. I can't get over the like. Damn it, man. Like, I just want to be friends. I just want to be cool, but I can't stop fanboying. Oh my god. And she was like texting me. She's like, hey, come see me, Opar. And I'm like, okay. She's like, yeah, we're going to do Bacon Love at the McDonald's booth, so come see me. And I'm just like, okay, sure. And then I went to come, like, see her. She's like, Opar. I was like, Nooner, sarang you. And then I think someone got a story of, like, us, like, doing, like, a jumping hug. It was like, I was like, what Korean drama is this? I was actually watching that footage like I think earlier, like maybe a day ago, and I'm like, what the f is my life, dude? Like how the f did I get here? Like my high school self would hate me so much right now, dude. Like what the f like, how did this thing happen? Like I honestly can't believe it, man. Like some of the sessions were really, really cool. Like I remember one of the sessions I was speaking Japanese to, I guess, like one of the guests at the cafe, and I remember speaking Tagalog to one of the guests at the cafe because they knew I was like Filipino. You know, I was the only non-Korean at the cafe. They're like, oh, are you Korean? I'm Filipino. One of my favorite things about, I guess, Sunday was during my break, I decided to participate in the random play dances, like for real, you know, like with my friends. I was like, guys, we got to do the random play dance. And then I heard boom boom going off, and I'm like, guys, we've got to. I'm like, at the chorus, and we were like, yeah, let's do it at the chorus, and then we went in and we started like doing it like together. like, I'm living in this moment. I can't believe like we're doing this together. It was so fun. I was like, great! Like, oh my god, that was so cool. Just doing that with everybody. It was like a flash mob. I really just wanted to like do that again. If like I made a promise to myself, like if any of the songs that I know the dance come on, I have to come in and like do the dance. After Boom Boom played, Dance the Night Away started playing, and I remember meeting this girl from the Flower Boy Cafe like I think a day ago, and we were dancing to, like, you know, Dance the Night Away, and then I found her there and I looked at her and I'm like, you know what's gonna happen, right? Are you ready? And she's like, I'm ready. I've been ready. I'm just like, you know exactly what's gonna happen. And then like we went in for like the chorus and we just gave it like everything.
He's so close to me. Oh. Let's get it.
I was like, this is so cool. Like, I can't believe we're doing like the random play dance like together, like in the circle. Like, this is exactly what we live for. Like, I feel like a lot of K-pop fans are like held back from like being like their true selves, but KCON is like the one place where like you don't give a
Let's get it.
Just like, let me just freaking dance the night away. Like, I'm a freaking once, dude. I'm gonna like, go crazy. I was living for that moment, man. Like, I was living. That's why I'm having so much withdrawals, because I was just so happy for like the whole weekend. Like at the Flower Boy Cafe, you know, you're just doing dances, you were dancing with everybody else, enjoying the K-pop concert like with everybody. Oh my god, it was beautiful. The Sunday concert was pretty amazing too, like seeing like Pentagon. Promise 9 was actually really good. 17 was obviously, like, they took the stage, you know what I mean? Like, just seeing them interact with each other, and honestly, I couldn't even hear the songs. Like, there was just so much screaming. Like, I didn't even know, like, what they were playing. Like, and they were playing, like, nice! And then, like, the whole crowd was just going wild. It was just like, oh my god, like, damn, like, get it, 17, get it, 17. Oh, man. Yeah, those 3 days were just so wonderful. Like, I would do it all over again. Like, obviously, I'm going to KCON next year too. Like, there's no doubt about it. If you want to have your full KCON experience, like, learn the dances, like, learn like the songs, be active like in the K-pop community, because, you know, like, once you're there, like, that's your moment. That's when like you can finally just like be yourself with like people who will like accept you. Like, you don't have to like pull out that playlist that has like no K-pop on it. You could just like totally like be yourself and like, you know, make friends who are also looking for other people that are like them, you know what I mean? Like, take me back, please. Like, can I just go back to KCON? Can I have KCON like once a month or something like that, please? In conclusion, that was the happiest weekend all 2018, to be honest. One of my goals this year was to get recognized for more of like my own content as opposed to the work here like I did at JK. I think at JK I was just only known as that guy from JK Party or the guy who does edits on JK News. And at the convention, people started recognizing me for me, you know what I mean? Like, because my channel is like the true representation of who I am like as a person, and just for me to finally experience that and have people come up to you because they love what you do, that comes from like your heart, is very, very, very moving. It's just really surreal to know how many of you guys are out there and how many my buys are actually like in the fandom, and I'm just very, very grateful that, you know, you guys subscribe or like you guys like keep up with like my content, like my Instagram, my Twitter, like everything that I do. And I just want to say thank you so much. I'm trying not to cry. That's exactly what I stand for. Everything that I do on byronvids is just to be unapologetically you. Like, I used to struggle with this in all of high school for like being too weird or being too much of like a Koreaboo or like being too much of like a weeb or something like that. And I've had like relationships where I just had to give up K-pop completely because, you know, they didn't like it. And for me to be 25 now and to be embracing the person like who I always was is so very moving. Thank you for everybody who gave me love and like support. Like, even if you didn't get to meet me like at KCON, just know I'm very, very grateful that you're here, that you're watching my stuff and showing me like all the support and love. And I hope to really, really get to meet every single one of you one day. So all in all, thank you so much for being there. Thank you so much for subscribing, and I am just like super indebted to all of you who keep up with everything that I do. So I just wanted to say no, Sarah, hey. I love you guys, seriously. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Hey Alexa, do you like day 6?
Let's get it.